This is a hectic life. No time to, stop and stare, and we are running from pillar to post, either trying to finish our jobs at work or jobs at home. We do need something that will keep us going and motivated. And in this fast-paced world, wellness of mind and body is so important. And we're so happy here at CCR TV that we have an author, a life coach, and a multifaceted personality to share her thoughts with us. So please join me in welcoming Shivangi Reja. Ma'am, welcome to CCR TV.
Thank you so much, Alfie. I am really glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad for this opportunity that you've given me, and really excited.
Wonderful. Now, this book which you're about to release is your third book. Before we get there, let's see if we can go back to the start of your journey. When did this all begin?
You mean the journey of writing?
Writing.
Okay. I think I can trace it back to my childhood. As a teenager, I loved maintaining a diary. And I used to write my day-to-day reflections and personal stories there. And that was because one of our teachers taught us about diary writing, and I was so inspired by that idea. And being a slightly introvert person, I started jotting down my thoughts and emotions on a regular basis in that diary. But I wasn't really aware, and I never gave it a thought that I can ever be an author until one day, just 2 years ago. In fact, one night, I would say, while I was putting my kids to sleep, putting them to bed, and I was just talking and narrating some of my life incidents. And my daughter just told me, "Mama, that's so inspiring. Why don't you think of writing some of your experience in a book?" And I said, okay, but they're just normal short stories, Vanya. Do you think it would affect people? And she said, no, definitely. If I am feeling so inspired, I'm sure people would. And that gave me a kind of click, and I thought, no, I should think of it. And I just think that I never looked back after that. I thought, no, I should go ahead, come out of my inhibitions, and started writing. I knew somewhere, I was carrying that limiting belief, it won't affect too much, it's just my story. But the idea of only leaving a legacy, if not for the world, but for my kids, at least one day when they'll read, when they'll grow up, they would know my story. So that's how I began, and I started writing.
I think that's good enough motivation for anyone to write. Do not wait for a publisher to get in touch with you. And I want to thank that teacher who, set you on this path by telling you or teaching you how to maintain a diary. I think it's so important, especially in today's day and age where somehow, youngsters find it difficult to communicate with others. Maybe just penning their thoughts will be that first step, as part of their catharsis.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure after you read your first draft or whatever they call it, it must have been quite a thrilling moment.
Actually, it is, yes. When I even sometimes pick up my book and I read through it and I feel, okay, I have written this and these are my stories and it is inspiring. And then I also feel it's not just me, all of us, each and every life, we have certain aspects, we have something to inspire people. We all go through our set of challenges in life, and as there's a saying, there's a line that every life has a story. I truly believe in that, and I feel everyone should have that platform or that way of expressing their story that would inspire others.
Are you still an avid reader?
Oh, you will be surprised. I've never been an avid reader, I would say. In fact, my daughter is, but growing up in a family, I would say I come from a very humble background, a middle town place where people were not that well educated, or I would say my parents do not come with that high degree, or we did not have much exposure to studies. They were like, you only do your graduation and it's okay. And none of my family members ever moved out to even pursue their further studies and all. So for me, that was my dream. I wanted to move out once I finished my graduation. And I knew it was a task to, convince them that I have to move out. So I always aspired to get good grades and all. And in order to get good grades and marks so that I can prove myself and I can move out, I never got that chance to read a lot of books. But yes, I still tried from our school library. I was privileged to have a good school library in my school where I could pick one book. I remember How to Train Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And that
Oh.
was one of my initial books that I picked, and I was so inspired by that. And I started applying those tricks, or those strategies and practical tools that helped me training my mind and developing as a coach that I call myself now, though I didn't know at that time that this is something I'll be pursuing. But then
Yes.
that helped me a lot. So yes, there are a very few books that I have read, not many, but
The ones you have read have
Yes.
created a lasting impact.
yes, and I pick books and I skim and scan quickly. That's one habit I have. I know I
Wow.
don't delve deeper into every book like my daughter and some people I've seen that they really
Every word.
well inside, and they just go for every word they'll read, and they come up with their own reflections. For me, it's more like, okay, I'll read, I'll understand what is this book about, and quickly scan, find the gist, and I'll be happy with that. Okay, this book is about this. I
So
don't
you
know.
spoke about being a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly does that entail?
Right. That's a good question, I would say, because life coach it's a big umbrella. It has a lot of sectors under it. But when I say life coach, it's a coach, a person who would help someone who needs some guidance or help in life.
Okay.
Because, in this fast-paced world where we have so many challenges, so much of politics at workplace, juggling with multiple roles, you do need someone at times who can help you, who can guide you in taking better decisions. Sometimes you're stressed. You just need someone to make you understand that it's okay. Life is full of challenges and we'll come out of it. So to show you the other side, I think that's what a life coach does. And that's what is really required in today's world. A lot of people I have come across who know everything, who are doing very well in life, but somewhere they're not very happy. That, happiness, absolute or inner happiness is missing. And they're seeking it, but they don't know how, where to look for it. So a life coach is someone who would help you and guide you and find that happiness somewhere within you.
You're not a doctor,
No, I'm not at all.
but she would definitely be qualified as a Dr. Feel Good, because I'm sure you've helped many people feel good.
Thank you.
And these are one-on-one sessions.
Yes, these are one-on-one sessions, and I also take group coachings. It's
I
not
see.
always one-on-one.
Oh, okay. How does that work?
Right. So that depends. So see, some people who would need a kind of therapy or counseling and they are going through some major setbacks or challenges in life, they would come for one-on-one. And if they feel comfortable only one-on-one, we go with that. But there are people who want to be a life coach, who want to get certified as a life coach. Then I have a group coaching program where I do share the entire process. I follow a 12-week process of life coaching. So week, we just give the entire, I would say, strategies, tools, paperwork that they would need while they will be coaching people.
Okay.
But for that, they first need to go through their transformation journey to understand, to explain it to their people, right?
Yes.
So I always say, till the time you have not walked the path, it would be difficult for you to understand others' challenges.
Walk the talk, as they say.
Walk the talk, yes. So we just make them experience this first, and then there are certain assignments that I take. I ask them to go through, and after that they are certified and qualified as a life coach as well, so that they can have their own community. Because see, if I want to impact a lot of lives, that's my dream. I know alone I would only be able to make a limited impact.
Correct.
But if there are more people who are going to help me and be with me on this journey,
Absolutely.
then it's compound interest, the word I was just looking for. So it's just like that.
Like they say, a good manager is one who breeds other managers, and then they manage, and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Now, when you say certification, you have an organization that gives this certification?
Yes. Again, it's like when I started 2 years ago, my book is also titled as Connecting Dots.
Okay.
I started with a name called Connecting Dots, which was an online platform. And that's under that platform, I used to provide workshops and trainings for students, teachers, and parents. And then I started life coaching using that platform. Eventually, while I went to register this firm, I could not get that name as it was already a trademark or used by someone else. So out of all those legal things. Now we've changed the name to Positivity Pathshala Private Limited.
Nice.
It's a legal name, and under this we are now training coaches who would be getting certified, and they will have the registered certificate when they complete the course.
Oh, nice. Well, connecting dots remind me of that games we used to, I don't know, we had those puzzles growing up.
Exactly. And it has a story behind. Connecting dots, again, it's all about whatever I'm doing in my life, it comes from my experiences. So when I connected the dots going backward in my life, and I just went through those experiences, and I realized these are the challenges I faced and how I overcame. I thought that this is how I can structure a program, a platform for people, those who are facing such challenges, similar issues, they would be able to go through it. So while we were contemplating on what should be the name for this platform, I happened to discuss it with my husband, and he suggested this name, how about Connecting Dots? And I am highly inspired by Steve Jobs. So I was like, okay, and I remember his quotes that you can never connect the dots moving forward. You can always connect, looking backwards. And I realized, yes, that's the name I wanted. So that's how we started, and that's why my first book also named as Connecting Dots, because it's connecting all my past experiences and how it's leading me to a better future.
So then that led to the second book, or was the second book something different?
Second book is slightly different.
Okay.
It's dedicated to my students, I would say mainly. It is To Young Minds with Love, from an educator, from a teacher.
That's the title.
That's the title, To Young Minds with Love. And again, the inspiration behind that, major inspiration I would say, was my daughter Vanya, and it was her 13th birthday. Okay, so while I curated this book, it was compilation of stories. On her 12th birthday, I created an ebook. Now that ebook had those compilation of 6 stories, and I wrote a letter to her, sharing all my thoughts, and I gave it on her birthday, right? Later this idea came, and a lot of people started reading it when I shared that ebook with people on Facebook, Instagram, and people started asking, can I get a copy for my child? And I started sharing it. Okay, if anyone wants to give a gift to their child or to their teenage children, they can, ask me, and I'll share with them. That gave me an idea that why don't I get it published if it is helping people and they're loving it, and children, after reading those stories, they have better idea. It's all again about life skills, and those stories are picked, very carefully. So I again went through and I added more stories. So they're a compilation of 13 stories which came up as a book.
Okay.
And that's again dedicated to
So
children.
multi-source stories.
Yes.
From different sources.
From different sources,
Okay.
simple stories with strong, powerful life lessons that would help children in their life. In fact, it helps us as well. Whenever I read those stories, there is always something new to learn and reflect on. So I feel stories are always quite powerful way of, telling things to people or teaching or guiding people. So that's something I have been following from the initial journey as an educator. I started as a speech and drama teacher, and I used to only narrate stories to my children to teach them.
I see.
So that stuck with me for a long time, and I thought that's the best way to share lessons, life lessons.
When you say you started as a speech and drama teacher, does it mean you're not teaching speech and drama anymore? If not, then what are you doing now?
Yes, I do not teach now, but then I've been helping teachers in utilizing all these skills. So I now work I'm heading early years department in the Gera School, Goa,
Right.
which is one of the renowned schools. I feel really proud to be a part of this organization where we have amazing faculty. Management is very supportive, and we have got some children who are quite eager to learn, and I'm sure, I see a bright future for all of them. So I help my teachers, how we can take most of these things in our classroom so that we can have better classroom and teaching strategies for our children. So I don't teach speech and drama, but as a coordinator also, whenever I get a chance to be with them in classroom, I end up taking up some stories or doing some drama with them.
So I read your poster about this wellness retreat that you have planned. Is this the first one that you have planned? And if you can tell our viewers a little bit more about what they can expect in this retreat.
Sure. So yes, this is my first wellness program. It's a retreat, mindfulness and wellness retreat, which is going to be in Radisson Blu, Cavelossim. While I was conducting a lot of online sessions, there were people who really wanted to meet me, who wanted to see me, and I too felt that if this course can be so powerful online, let's test the waters and then let's see how it's going to bring or what kind of impact will it have when it will be on offline, face to face. So it was just a kind of inner calling, a random idea where I just thought of, okay, let's go ahead and see what is there in store. And I announced it. Thankfully, I've got a lot of people coming from all over India to attend this. And it is from 21st September to 24th September, as I said, in Radisson Blu Blossom. And we will have a lot of workshops, mindfulness sessions, self-discovery sessions, connecting with nature. And there are other coaches also who have joined me in this. So Dr. Jinendra Jain, who's coming from Meerut, we have Sonakshi, who's coming from Gurgaon, and Coach Preeti, who's joining us from Pune. So they will also come up with their own set of skills and they'll be sharing it with the audience there. So I look forward to have people there. One important thing, we would also have a book launch event on 23rd September, where I'm going to launch my third book along with 3 more authors from different part of India, I would say, different places they're coming. So if at all you wish to join, I would say you can definitely join us on 23rd September from 4:30 p.m. just to attend the book launch and meet the authors face to face, have interaction.
So 4 books basically.
Yes.
Okay, are being launched. And so what is your third book about now?
My third book is it's Sip of Positivity with Coach Shivangi, where it's all about positivity quotient. How PQ, which is positivity quotient, is so important in today's life.
It's like IQ, EQ and PQ.
Exactly.
I see.
Rather, it's more important than IQ and EQ now. And you will get to read about it. I would not be disclosing it, how and why. It's there in the book. But yes, one of my chapters, it talks about that why and how, more than IQ and EQ, you need to now work on your PQ. Because, and just one thing I feel why this book has come into picture is because all of us are running after things, but without being aware of what exactly we want in our lives, right? And somewhere I feel what we all need in our life is happiness, that inner happiness, that absolute happiness, that just, it's like ebbs and flows, you know, it comes, it goes, it comes and goes, and then you have all those challenges, struggle and suffering. So how you can reach a state of mind where you need to focus more on PQ rather than happiness, because if you have a good level of PQ, if you maintain that quotient, you would get happiness in every state. You'll learn to find happiness in every state of life. So I think you should read more about it in the book and you'll get to know a lot of practical tools, strategies shared in it, and also shared in a way through stories, again, as I believe that stories are a powerful way of communicating and it makes things easier for the readers. So I'm sure people are going to like that.
Oh, absolutely. So you've got your, as they say, the cup is overflowing. How do you manage your time with, I gather, with the family and your work as well as your passion? I would put writing as like your passion. Mm-hmm. Plus, I'm sure you have lots of students to coach. Mm-hmm. So is there a book on time management coming up?
That's an amazing question, and I think yes, I would definitely have that in detail. But this book, third book, also talks about effective time management. Okay. A bit about it is shared in it, that how we can have mindful time slots and management so that we can do a lot more in life, because we all have that. We have that capacity. It's just that we need to cultivate it, and it's going to help you all doing it. Some strategies are shared in this, and as Elfie said, you never know, I might come up with another book. With me, how I manage, so I'm a bit strict, a bit disciplined in that, and I follow certain routines in my life. I get up early, I'm an early riser, I get up by 5 in the morning, and I do follow my morning ritual, which is sacrosanct for me. It's like, okay, I need to have my meditation time, which is very important. I need to have I follow journaling, as I said, right from my childhood I've been following. So journaling, visualization process, positive affirmations are some things which I follow on a regular basis. And even before sleeping, there's a ritual that I have that, okay, I'll pay gratitude. I'll have 10 minutes at least to write down all the good things and, gratitude for the day, and having a short to-do list for next day. Not the entire day I'm going to have planned for, second to second, but then what I do is like, okay, at least 3 things that I am going to achieve next day, and I'll jot that down, because the next day when I wake up, I don't have to think, okay, how the day has to begin, what am I supposed to do. I'm already aware, okay, this is something that I need to finish. Extra, very good, well and good. If it is not done, it's okay. Those 3 things I have to do. So things like this help me a lot. I do follow Pomodoro technique, setting time for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, being productive there, then taking a short break. Then again, these kind of...
and all these work, all these techniques, they bear fruit, right?
Definitely it works. It works a lot. In fact, I shared it in my school with my teachers, and I could see the difference as well. I conducted one workshop on time management for our teachers in school. And I could see that how managing their time, they started saying that, ma'am, now we are able to finish our work in school during school times. Otherwise, we were taking it outside every day. So I think it works. It's just that you have to be little disciplined there. If you've given yourself certain time, some amount of time, you ensure that you finish it, and then you move ahead. So that would be required. And with practice, it comes easily. I feel that you need to be consistent in what you're doing. So that's another thing.
Morning time can be quite inspiring. So, did you get an idea for your next book so far, or
no?
Not yet.
No, I've not actually started writing. I have got some ideas already, and this is something, since you have asked, I'm sharing that in my to-do list. I know that at least 10 books I want to write. Now, how, when, I've left it. But then there are some topics that I am passionate about and I would like to share in future. And time management is definitely one of those, because I feel that's a major concern for most of the students, whether they and then professionals, anyone.
Everyone.
Yes, everyone, I would rather say, because then we all need to just know how we can manage. We all have 24 hours, but if used wisely, you can achieve a lot. And I also feel many a times what happens is that we overestimate the time, as in what we can do within a year we'll have, or within a day. I would say you overestimate your day's time by putting a lot of things in. Okay, one day I'll do this, and you underestimate what can be achieved within a year. Because of which this imbalance, if you plan properly and if you estimate things properly and every day is planned, then, step by step, day by day, when you plan things and you keep going, within a year, there is a lot that can be achieved. That was one mistake even I was making. That's why I'm saying this, that I used to have a lot of things on my plate for every day. Okay, I'll do this, and then end up saying, okay, I could not finish, and every day you're cursing, you're disappointed with your own self that, oh, I've not done anything.
And then the negativity creeps in.
Exactly.
So.
But the moment you start saying, okay, let's go one step at a time, smaller things, okay, let's plan little, less, but then you do it, finish it. You gain confidence gradually if you're finishing only those 2 or 3 tasks every day. And then within a year, you would realize, okay, you've done really a lot. So,
if I may plant an idea, which is an amalgamation of 2 of your skills, your speech and drama and your writing. Maybe you write a book with scenes, showing some positive outcomes in dialogue form.
wow. I'll definitely
Come
think
on.
about it.
I mean, you have taught speech and drama, so you have that there, and you have the writing skills. So it would be an amalgamation, basically. It would be a wonderful collaboration,
I agree. Thank you so much. I'm certainly going to think about
No problem.
it. Thank you.
You could name it Coffee with Alfie.
Exactly.
Since you do believe in empowering and encouraging others, so, many of our viewers, they were watching this, if you could give them a piece of advice, those who are budding writers, something which will sustain them on their creative journey.
Right. Right. So to my budding writers...
I thought that was the advice. Right.
Exactly, right. And to my budding authors, this is what I wanted to say. Start writing and be authentic. Do not worry about what people would think, they would say. Just be you, be authentic. Whatever experiences, feelings you have, start writing, jotting it down, and you never know, like me, I'm sure you would come up with your own books. And I definitely want you all to come up with your books. As I say that every life has a story. Try, start writing, practice, and come up with your own book. And second thing, failure. When I talk about failure, I know a lot of times we have these notions in our mind, what will people say, whether they like it or no, and all those limiting beliefs stop us. As I said, be authentic. Do not worry about what people would say. Take every failure as a stepping stone, as a learning. Learn from it, move on. Learn from your mistakes, move on. And that is going to lead you to a great path, I would say. You will come up, you'll discover the best you there. So take failures as opportunities to grow, but not as a dead end.
Well, Shivangi, Reja, I am inspired, and I'm going to start, trying to put things down on paper. And I thank you for, your time. They say words have power, and we wish more power to your pen and to your mind, that you write more and that you inspire more. All the best.
Thank you so much, Effie. It was a pleasure being here with you. And thank you for that brilliant idea.